When I return to Elal, it's clear they know what I've just experienced. They're excited on my behalf, in a way that makes me miss them before I've even left. Isn't it incredible? How does it feel? I tell Hilal hovering is exciting. I ramble for a moment about all the things I'll be able to do when I'm out there in the world. Most of them involving me falling on my head and not getting hurt. But I'm sure I'll come up with more practice. Hey, you can do anything you want. Hilal's mood doesn't darken. The sigh they let out holds a bit of sorrow. You're very lucky, you know. Miss it so much. That feeling? Just floating on the breeze. I suppose it's best that it fades with age, hmm? Or else I might never have come back from my gliding. I'd just be out there heaving myself into chasms. I tell Hilal I'll throw myself into 1,000 chasms on their behalf, and they giggle. That's what I like to hear. I know people manage to keep it up, but I don't know that I've got the time and practice as much as they do. It takes a really serious focus. Hilal laughs, even if there's a bit of regret in it. And I certainly haven't got that. Still, I suppose the gliding wouldn't mean much if it were all gains and no loss, hmm? I think about that, but decide that there is already too much loss on my mind to consider it much further. Saying goodbye to my clan, my family, my home, my childhood? To lose the perpetual is a sacrifice for another time. You're going to love it out there, Sable, even when you don't. My advice? Try to have fun. There's a lot to be said about ritual and independence and all of that out there. The world's an easier place if you put joy first. I thank Hilo for their advice and for their help, and tell them I'll miss them. It'll be over before you know it. A warning and a reassurance all in one. I say goodbye to Hilo. Before I go, Hilo gestures towards the tower. It seems Sizzle wishes to see me before I leave the clan. Sizzle is the outclanner to the Ibexai, but I've known her for as nearly as I can recall, and think of her more as a kind, distant relation than any sort of outsider. Machinists, I'm told, are given their posts, and by their training and their code, must go to work where they're needed. But Sizzle has been amongst us so long that it's easy to forget it's an assignment first and foremost. I think there's a perception among other clans that the Ibexai are quite insular, or that our designation of Ibexai versus outclanners suggests some nervous othering of those who are unlike us. But in practice, such things are more the result of our nomadic nature. We seek to know who will travel with us, and those who we must leave behind. All are welcome to join. But I'm always pleased that Sizzle did. Sable, how do you do, clan child? I can only think of one thing. Sizzle has a throaty quality to her voice. It rumbles through her mask when she laughs. She's quite a serious person most days, and I'm always torn between pride and alarm when I manage to make her chuckle. Yes, Jedi told me how excited you were. Sizzle sniffs. She also told me Driss would be coming along to get your bike together, but I think he may have. I knew it. What? I hadn't meant to say that out loud. So I tell her I was just clearing my throat. Don't begrudge Driss his forgetfulness. Were I tasked with so many odds and ends, I might be just as scattered. Besides, this will be good for you. I want you to scavenge the hover bike parts yourself. Sizzle taps the cheek of her mask amused. And let him have the privilege of bonding with your bike before it's composed? No, no, no. This is reserved for you. Here, take this. Sizzle hands me something. This is a navigator. You can use it to mark waypoints on your compass. It should be useful in finding the old parts. I asked Sizzle where I might start looking. Our bikes are reborn in the ruined ships, in fragments spread apart. A good start would be the ship down there near the camp. You'll find another up on that great rock near the other side of the canyon, and another behind the old dam on the hill. Use that navigator to mark that down if you need. You'll need to gather a control panel, a power supply, and a calibrator. I asked Sizzle if most gliders really make their own bikes. Only the lucky ones. I tell Sizzle I'll see her soon, and head off in search of the components. Together, we'll create something new out of the old. There's nothing of use to be found in the ship, but I notice a blinking light flashing on the dashboard of the cockpit. A voice crackles from the machinery in front of me. It sounds like a recording. It's barely audible. Stop messing about with those buttons, you absolute idiot. Sorry, Raymond. Concentrate. I don't think I have to remind you how much work it was to get this far. We're almost there. Alright, let's see if what that old machinist told us holds up. If not, there'll be hell to pay. Okay, when I push this orange thing, you pulled that lever hard. Yes, Raymond. The sound of a click and a loud grunt before a snapping sound. Oh, on Rahana's mask. Not that hard. You've torn it out. Suddenly, the speakers were filled with static, and a low rumble that gradually increased in pitch. And then the sounds of someone cheering. It worked! We're flying! More cheering. Is that the sound of someone dancing? Okay, let's focus. This thing is moving fast. We need to slow it down a bit. How do we do that, Raymond? Let me check the machinist's notes. A long pause. The rumbling static sound that started playing when the ship took off is still increasing in pitch. Raymond? That lever, Toma. The one you just ripped out. We're going too fast. We're gonna crash. We need to try to... The recording cuts off there. Are you looking for the calibrator? I'm immediately on guard. Simon has always been a mischief maker, and take tremendous pleasure in tormenting me. In theory, I am older, more experienced, and should be more than able to withstand it. In practice, you won't find it here. I've hidden it. You'll never find it. Never, never. He never fails to get to me. I decide to be gentle and ask her, may I please have it? May I please have it? He mimics me terribly. All high and screechy. Despite my best efforts, I seethe. Well, too bad. Maybe you'll find it on your own. But I don't think so. Saima laughs off my irritation, but I'm not going to give her the satisfaction. I cross my arms and try to effect a change. I'll give you the calibrator. I put my hand out, proud of myself for standing tall before Simon. If you give me some beetles. That's a fair trade, isn't it? Something you want for something I want. I tried to decide if it's more mature to push her over and steal the calibrator or to acquiesce. But then I simply stifle a laugh and shake her little hand. Perhaps some of the adults in the camp know where I can find some. How is it that Simon manages to contain so much chaos and verve in so small of a form? Even now, there's something troublesome being dreamed up behind that mask, I know it. Sima shrieks when she sees the calibrator in my hand, and then bursts into tears under her mask. You'll leave. You'll leave on the gliding and you'll never come back. Just like Yara did. Don't you miss her too? You were her friend before she left. I tell Sima that Yara will likely visit one day, just as I will if I ever should choose another clan. How will you find us? We'll have moved 1,000,000 times by then. I offer that I will always find the ibex eye, no matter what. Please don't go! I tell Simon not to worry, that I will be back sooner than she knows. I'm sure she pouts behind the mask. And I add if I'm not back sooner than she knows, then she will be ready for her gliding by then, and she can come bother me herself. Promise? I say yes. Good. Then I suppose I can come see you off. I thank her and say goodbye for now.